What makes Chucky scary?
First thing are these damn age restrictions. Like, I haven't made a child's play video since last year, mainly because of that. I just don't like that you have a photo of a kid and they instantly assume that it's made for kids or we need to prevent people from commenting. And then when you go to manually turn it off, they will still sit there and revert it back to having comments turned off. So it's just that's the scary that's the first scary thing about him. But I guess when you look at most, horror film villains, like the ones that are, like in franchises, they tend to cut an imposing figure, right? Like Jason, Michael. I wouldn't say Freddy is as big, but still, most of them are like adult sized. You can kind of see the person overwhelming you. With Chucky, you have this very small killer who I would say is kind of nerve wracking because you could just be, at home, sitting somewhere. I mean, as we saw in the second film, even at a school, and just, oh, there's this doll that's in the corner, with the rest of the the toys. Like he's very good at blending in with like a background, especially if you're like someone who's not even aware. Because in the Child's Play universe, most people don't believe in you know the dolls and whether they're possessed or not. So you would just kind of sit there and not really assume anything of this toy that's lying around. And then if you lower your guard or aren't really, thinking anything suspicious, then you'll end up possibly getting killed. The other part of it is that when it comes to like designs, paranoia with, again, inanimate objects is a real thing. When I was a kid, I was, for example, really, and I still, I hate revealing this, but I'm scared of spiders, particularly the big ones. I don't think I'm as afraid of them as I was when I was younger, but I there, I used to be so afraid of them that I wouldn't even want to have like toys of spiders, just because it had the image of a spider and it looked like it could do the same things that a real one could. Of course, as someone who's not insane, I knew and know rather that it's not going to, like, oh, here's my toy spider, it's going to come and get me at night. But it's still one of those things where the image that it's replicating is so disturbing or otherwise unsettling for me that I don't even want to have something that looks like it. With Chucky, that's kind of inverted in the sense that, like, in universe, the good guy doll is considered, cute and it's a nice little toy for people to play with. And so that's part of that whole thing of lowering your guard, right? Oh, this little, if there's going to be anything that gets me, whether it's a dog or a snake or some other small thing, it's certainly not going to be this toy, right? Especially when it looks as cute as this, and then you find out that, oh, it's actually alive. And even, we don't, this rarely gets brought up that often, but the whole idea of stealing souls, and we see this happen later on in the films with Nika. The idea of being like hunted by this toy, this thing that, again, most people don't really suspect anything of. If you say anything about, they're going to say you're crazy and there's something wrong with you. And then that toy is trying to take your body and possibly trap you like, I always thought, during the original trilogy, that it's like a switch where if Chucky, for example, takes a body, then whoever was in the body will then take his doll form. But I thought that it's really disturbing to just kind of consider, if you're his target, you're going to be hunted by this thing that most people don't even believe is real. So they'll look at you like there's something wrong with you. And then if Chucky is successful in switching with you, you'll be stuck in the form of a doll. Of course, as it turns out, with the latter installments, it apparently seems that you go in and out of being possessed by him. It's kind of all over the place. But yeah, that's what I think makes Chucky scary. The small size, the fact that in real life there are people who are afraid of inanimate objects because of the way they look. Him having an appearance that if it were just sitting there, a lot of people wouldn't find scary. And then having an ability that is actually extremely powerful. And if you're aware, or even if you're not like fully understanding of what Chucky wants out of you, the idea of him succeeding, you know, using your appearance and your body to then do these awful things, while you sit there trapped in the form of a doll, or possibly, trapped in it and helpless to do anything about it. All of it together, I think, makes him very frightening. And and let's not forget Brad Dourif's voice. I mean, you look at, again, the cute little ginger doll, and Chucky looks like something you would see in Cabbage Patch Kids, or just some other like series that would be meant for children. And you would assume with an appearance like that, he would have a really soft voice, but he actually has a very deep one. And you're seeing, again, this very childlike doll speak with this deep baritone. I don't know why I'm making my voice deeper, especially since most people say my voice is deep. But I'm just saying that Brad Dourif's performance really also like adds to that, because unlike most of these different horror villains, and very much akin to Freddy, Chucky has a singular actor. Depending on if it's the original series or the reboot, there's not that many people who've played Chucky. And with Durf, and in the reboot for as well with Hamill, there is this deep voice that accompanies that small appearance, which is also part of like why it's so unsettling. It's a clashing of imagery. And there are a lot of people who are intimidated by deep voices. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they had James Earl Jones voice Darth Vader, because the stuntman or the actor, they didn't feel was able to convey that same type of just command. So those factors together make Chucky scary to me. I think that in some of the later movies, again, this is similar to Freddy, not as scary because of like all the jokes, but just in general, the fact that he's in this realistic world where there's not really many people who even like see him coming. Like you can see, unless they sneak up on you, Michael, Jason, Freddy, but with Chucky, he could be hiding in plain sight, just someone's toy, and then they bring him in the house, and the next day they find a bunch of bodies. I mean, that really goes to the sci-fi element of the series I like, that just such a realistic outcome can be derived from something so mundane as a toy.